Good afternoon. All protocols duly observed. On behalf of the Governing Council, Advisory Board Member and Secretarial Hub of Asian African Chamber of Commerce and Industry, congratulations to the chairperson and organizer of the 7th edition Real Estate Development Summit West Africa. The importance of various deliberations on this summit is how we can solve the problem of housing in West Africa, because housing sector is seen as an important sector for stimulating economic growth of any nation. Federal Republic of Nigeria is the most populated nation in West Africa, with rapid urbanizing country in Africa, and over 48% of the population in Nigeria lives in the urban area, covering less than 10% of the habitable land area, and annual national population growth rate of 2% with annual urban population growth rate of 4%. Nigeria population is almost 180 million people, currently facing a national housing deficit of about 70 million units. In 1991, the Nigerian housing deficit was 7 million. It has increased to 12 million in 2007, 14 million in 2010, and currently 70 million units. The implication of this very high housing deficit is that tenants and rented apartments pay as high as 60% of their average disposable income, far higher than 20 to 30% recommended by the United Nations. Only 25% who desire owning a house in Federal Republic of Nigeria, either by way of purchase or personal constructions, as against other countries. 64.2% in United States of America, 63.5% in United Kingdom, 90% in People's Republic of China, 56.8% in South Korea, 92% in Singapore, 62% in Japan, 51% in Hong Kong, 96.4% in Romania, 86.6% in the Republic of India, 38% in South Africa. A World Bank study projects that the cost of bridging this 17 million housing deficit is 59.5 trillion, indicating the vast and untapped investment potentials of Nigerian real estate sector, whereby housing construction sector account for only 3.1% of our rebased GDP, while total current housing production is about 100 units per year. For a country of nearly 180 million, therefore, we need at least about 700 additional units each year to have a chance of bridging this gap. What's responsible for 70 million housing deficit? Housing problems cannot be totally eradicated, but can be reduced. I hereby employ real estate developers in West Africa to liaise with governments of West African nations to take housing as part of their government priorities by mitigating the adverse effect of removing the followings. 1. Import duty reduction on housing materials, because 70% of building materials were imported. 2. Tax holiday on income tax rate of 30%, value tax of 5%, education tax of 2%, and withholding tax of 5% to estate developers, so as to reduce the cost of construction and enhance timely delivery of affordable housing units. Housing finance. Estate developers should have access to mortgage finance at less interest rate, because mortgage loan to a total GDP in Federal Republic of Nigeria is 0.5%, compared with 80% in United Kingdom and 31% in South Africa. Government should put policy in place to encourage local input of building materials rather than relying on 70% of imported building materials. The major implication of real estate environment in West Africa can be summarized as follows, among others: demographic, interest rates, the economy, government policies, so subsidies, and what is the best investment. The technology development in the changing game of real estate can be seen as stated below: buying and selling platforms, the blockchain, virtual walkthrough, machine learning, and rate on investment ROI calculation, and big data and personalized recommendation. To conclude, in developing countries, we need to work on our conventional loan to make them less stringent from home buyer and home improvement. We suggest a lower down payment, use of technology for data for home buyers, and a good look at liberal debt to asset ratio to grant mortgage loan. The Mortgage Banker Association of most Asian and African countries need to get more involved in bankers' activities, loan procurement process and disbursement, and work towards long-term capital working facility for mortgage bankers to a single digit of less than 5%. I wish all of us oriented deliberations. Thank you, and God bless you.